Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dramasology podcast. In this episode, I am going to be covering the 2023 Korean BL drama titled Our Dating Sim. If you have been listening to my podcast for some while now and you've listened to some of my other episodes where I cover other BLs, you'll know that this is one BL that I mention very often, mainly because it is one of my favorite. There's very few BLs I would say that surpass this for me because this one is just so good. So I thought, it's about time I covered this because I feel like I've mentioned it so many times that it needs its own dedicated episode. So, just a quick synopsis from my drama list. Our dating sim is about two high school friends who are reunited at a company where their task is to create a dating simulation game. Back in high school, Iwan confessed his feelings for Shingite, his friend, and then instantly runs away after misunderstanding. Shingite is shocked for disgust, right? And so this leads them to be estranged for the next few years. That is until Iwan interviews for the game company where Shingite works at. It stars Lee Jong Hyuk as Iwan, who joins this company as the newbie, the animation expert, I guess. And Shingite, played by Isung-gyu, is his high school friend who already works at this company when Iwan interviews. In fact, he is one of the people that interviews Iwan for his position, right? So this is how they reunite. One thing about this drama that makes it one of my favorite is that it has a really high rewatch value. I think because it's feel good, the acting is not awkward, and honestly, I think I am just a sucker for lovers reunited and just pining. And I think that because I also knew nothing about this show when I first watched it, right? I went in blind. I think that added to why I enjoyed the show because there's something about just being surprised by whatever the plot is, and then to have something like this that's actually really well produced. It's rare and it's a rarity. So this shot up to my top 10 BLs of all time. So I just want to talk about a few things that I enjoyed about this drama, things that caught my attention and kind of made it an instant favorite of mine. From the very beginning, one of the thing that was interesting to me, or the points or the scene that caught my attention almost instantly, right? Like I was sold immediately after this, was Iwan's interview scene. There's just something about that scene that is well done, right? You have this scenario where Shingite, is interviewer and Iwan, comes in expecting to be interviewed for this company. He has no idea he's about to meet his high school crush. And so seeing him being shocked to see his high school friend, seeing him being so flustered and kind of out of it, is basically almost unable to do the interview properly because I feel like he was so flustered. And I don't know, just scared in a way, or maybe embarrassed or shy, I don't know, right? That whole scene was well done. There's something about the way Lee Jong Hyuk plays that scene. He acts it so well, and I feel like it's almost establishes his character in a way. Or at least that's what I thought, because as we later find out, actually Iwan is not like that, in the sense of he's not someone that's shy or flustered easily. It's just I feel that um that's how he appeared in the scene. He was like this helpless bunny where Shingite was like this wolf that was harassing him. Even the CEO was kind of telling Shingite to cool it down. It seemed like a lot, right? And it's just a scene that I really like. It spoke to me because again, I think I like shy characters. I like the shy character versus the confident character trope. And Iwan embodied that in that moment, that I was like, oh, this is interesting, right? Like I said, Iwan ends up not being like this really in terms of his character. It tends to actually be more open, but that whole initial setup was interesting to me. Then another scene that I really liked was in episode 2, where Iwan confesses his love for Shingite and then immediately runs away. This scene was very like well done to me because like you see the build up of Iwan like thinking that he wants to do this, running to the school and confessing that love. You could tell how much courage he had in that moment, and you could tell how scared he was to confess his feelings. And I really just liked watching it. When he explained to like Shingite that no, I like him this way, and he kissed him, I was like, I screamed. Like it was such a good moment, and I think for me again, it sets his character in a way that I again assumed he would be more docile, which I again find is not true. I would say that he's not as even sensitive as Shingite is, but it's I think Shingite that turns him into a different person or turned him into a different person because of his feelings for him, right? So that was another interesting scene. I just really liked how that whole scene went when Iwan runs out just after confessing, and like you can see him like trying to catch his breath. Like he was that scared. Like you know that feeling when you're nervous and you lose like act like you actually lose breath and everything. I think he really did that scene well. Again, props to the actor. Now, I want to move on to Shingite because I think just like Iwan, his initial setup, the initial way that his character is portrayed is not actually how it is. So he appears very, very confident, but we later find out that this is actually not the case. One of the good things that this show does well is that it was able to show just how much losing Iwan affected Shingite and also kind of shows just how much Shingite likes Iwan. After like Iwan kisses him and runs away, you can tell that like Shingite goes after him, wants to find him, wants to talk to him, and all that thing. And I really like how they set it up because you can then see as like time progresses and how like they've not talked for years, you can still see that Shingite obviously misses him, right? One thing I will say is that this show is reminiscent of Tokyo in April is, which is another like Japanese BL. It's very similar in that BL, the character Ren is also like this. He's seemingly very confident, but not really. He loved Kazuma, and that was all that was in his mind, but like it never appeared that way at first, right? The same here goes in that like Shingite pines for Iwan, and even though he pretends to be okay, you see in the moment where he thinks Iwan has left him again, he turns into a mess. Like he is traumatized clearly, and I mean he was going through a lot, but I remember thinking, oh my god, that is so cute. I just like that they humanized him in that way and did not just make him seem like, oh yeah, he is the love interest of our protagonist, or he's the one that our like protagonist is in love with, and that's it. No, they actually give him some more character in a way, I would say, and I just like that. Another scene I really liked is that scene in the football field where Shingite actually tells Iwan that he likes him, because it was done in a very heightened state of like, it was very tense, I feel like, that moment, right? At least it was tense for Iwan, right? But Shingite, I think for him, it was almost like he just wanted to like let Iwan see that he made a mistake by just leaving him, right? By just disappearing the way he did. So he was confessing, but also kind of like chastising Iwan for leaving, right? And I just like how they did that. Again, it shows you that like Shingite was really affected by how Iwan disappeared. So yeah, that was a really nice scene. I really like that scene as well. Another thing that makes this drama really excellent is that I feel like the kissing, like the chemistry, everything was so well done. Like I had to like pause during their kissing and like check and double check that I was watching a Korean drama, because like Shingite was going in, right? And yeah, it was just so well done, and I feel like it really highlighted Shingite's like pining over the years and his feelings for Iwan, right? He always teased him about like the fact that he ran away, right? And I like that, like he was so like salty about that. And he mentioned it every time, even when they kissed, right? In that kissing, he even says that, oh yeah, neither of us ran away this time. And I was just like, oh my god, he has to let this go into therapy or something, because clearly like Iwan really like broke his heart in like the fact that he just like upped and left, and he could not like find this guy anywhere. And there's just something about watching a guy pine that I love, right? One thing I will say is that, like I mentioned, Shingite, they kind of hint at the fact that he had feelings for Iwan from the very beginning. And one thing that highlights that is where Shingite is waiting for Iwan. This is after graduation at the rooftop with their friends, and like he's wondering where Iwan is, right? He's calling him and everything, and his friends start to tease him about Iwan and them being like lovers, right? Because he was so concerned, kind of like a lover would be. And I just like how they highlight that their relationship has always been odd, right? Even to those around them, right? Because it shows in a way that like Shingite had already unknowingly like perceived and treated Iwan in a romantic way than a platonic way, right? Like he had already acted in a way that was almost sus to their friends, right? And that's how you know that like from the very beginning Shingite obviously liked him as well, right? And if Iwan had just waited like 2 more seconds, he would have seen Shingite reciprocate his love, right? And so that's just one point that was really well done. He highlighted again the fact that it wasn't just Iwan that was like into him. Yeah, Iwan was the one that had the courage to confess. I mean, almost cowardly, I feel like, because he ran away after. But it was still like a glimpse into Shingite's behavior and the possibility that he also liked Iwan, right? So yeah, I really liked this drama. It was well done. One thing I also liked was the bonus scenes at the end of each episode. It was cute because it was basically where the title came from and it fits so perfectly. Just the fact that they would have that dating sim. He reminds me of when I was young and you see all those like games that would be like, walk into this room, choose yes or no, right? And you have to like decide if you want to choose yes, and it'll take you to a different path. If you choose no, it'll take you to a different path. And yeah, it was that old like bonus scenes, or those bonus scenes was very well done. Also, again, gives you a glimpse into the fact that their relationship has always been like sauce. Right. So yeah, I really, really like this like drama. All in all, it was very good, great chemistry, feel good, and just like excellent acting, like excellent budget, everything, right? It's rare, I feel like, for dramas to be this good, or BL dramas to be this good, especially from Korea. I feel like they always like fall off in some way, be it budget or kiss or something. They always like something will always like not give. So I really like that this just gave. It gave, and it was like a Christmas, and it was amazing. I remember watching this and being like, how, like, what are the odds that this kind of drama would like come out with this many episodes? Like, it was just perfect in that way. So I really, really enjoyed this. I recommend it to anybody that has not watched it. I feel like if you're a BL fan, you probably watch it anyways. So I'm not going to like preach to the choir. But yeah, that's all my review for this week. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode, and I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely rest of the week. I'll see you all again next week. Bye.